So silent, guys. Come on. I need some energy as well. Good afternoon. All right. Welcome to Prague. Welcome to our conference. It's great to have all of you here. Good to see some of the friends from last year. Meeting again. It's always a pleasure. Without much ado, this year is a special year for us. You'll see a lot more signage around it. We actually are celebrating the 10th anniversary of this. So what started a decade ago with about 6 or 7 clients now has turned into 40 clients, to be honest. So there are 40 clients in the room today with us. It's always a pleasure, everything grows, and this also has grown. And as we reflected upon what brings clients to us, to these meetings, and I see people, I've seen them for the last 3 years, ever since I've been attending. As we reflect upon it, it's the quality of presentation and, more importantly, our ability to stay focused on the future of technology and serve you up with the things that you would want to be knowing ahead of curve, so that you could, lead your business, guide your business to take the right decisions so that you can have a leap forward. We started off with IoT all the years ago, 10 years ago when we started. Then the cloud came up. We are talking about cloud in the conference, giving ideas, all the way up to now. Today is going to be about AI. You would have heard AI everywhere in the world as well. So it's something that you cannot avoid, just like the cloud and the experience in the past. So we will provide you a different perspective today. But more importantly, our idea is to serve various aspects of AI where we see fit and where we see clients benefiting out of. Now, I want to show this up for a minute to say, anybody knows who these gentlemen are? I'm sure somebody will know. Who is Nikola Tesla? Nikola Tesla is the right one. And who's the guy on the left? That's cheating. So the guy on the left is Edison, Thomas Alva Edison, and a guy we need to be thankful of for all these lights and everything. He not only invented bulbs, but he also made way to have electricity flow easily come to the houses. Previously, it was just sitting in. The reason I put the other guy, Nikola Tesla, is he worked for him. By the way, that guy studied engineering here in Prague. Nikola Tesla, that's a fun fact. Although they never awarded him the degree because he is not a Czech citizen. So he studied here. He actually worked for him for a short while. He left him for not getting bonus. Honestly, he didn't pay him the bonus for all the work he did. He goes out. He says, your model is all wrong because you are doing direct current. I want to show alternating current. And then he built AC model. Now, they fought with each other. Whatever you are seeing today happened 100 years ago as well. They fought with each other. Now, the reason I'm saying that is that kind of evolution and transformation was needed to show something that can stick around for years and ages can happen. And these two guys, I do want to thank these fellows for, first of all, making electricity possible. Otherwise, all this invention, all this innovation, nothing would have been happening. Now, so who is moving the cheese now? Those two guys moved the needle. They made a huge shift 100 plus years ago. So who's moving the cheese now? Any guesses, guys? Sam Altman. Let me start with that. So you'll recognize many of these faces. The guy in the blue shirt, if you don't know, is the Anthropic guy, but all the others you should recognize. They come on television more often than you need. But quite honestly, they are doing a lot of things in the industry. Are they the only two? Are these the only few? There are a lot. Maybe let's throw in a couple of chip manufacturers as well. The AMD, Lisa, as well as Jensen Huang, whom we cannot miss. Well, am I missing somebody? Let's throw in a couple of Chinese as well, right? The Huawei and the DeepSeek guy. So these guys are definitely moving the needle. Maybe I'm missing another guy, one guy who visits space every now and then to get inspiration. Mr. Musk. So these are the people who are actually moving the needle. They are doing what the Edisons of the world are doing in the past. Basically, they are moving the industry forward substantially. And what are they doing? They are shifting our world, the world that we are living in. That's why I brought the analogy of who's moving the cheese, because we can all be comfortable sitting, eating. I don't know how many of you read that book, happy that there's a cheese available and eat in that, be in that happy territory. But one day it's going to dry out. And these guys are definitely moving the environment to change the way cheese is available. It is drying up. So we do need to go up. So what am I saying? Well, software 1.0, it started in the 40s and 50s. Quite honestly, as I walk around, the languages have changed. It's a Python, it's different languages. They all are people, the coding people are doing something similar to what I was doing as a C programmer. Basically, they are coding coding and then testing. Yes, there are a lot more guardrails, there are a lot more gadgets available, but the world is the same. Then came software 2.0, which is more a function of using the data to train models. A classic example is autonomous car. But it has moved the needle, but it's very limiting. It's not really impacted lives in a big way. That's where 3.0 comes in, which has come in, which can actually have models written, the software written in a much, much faster way. Now, that's the paradigm shift. When I was a programmer, I used to think, how come this module leader gets a happy job, man? He's only reviewing the code. He's not writing. He's just critiquing my code. But imagine a world where code is written, it's already critiqued, and you have a better version. So you're going to produce a lot more products, a lot more efficiently in the coming world. Whether you like it or not, it is a paradigm shift. At least that's what we thought. Let's see what you said. The survey that we had with you just before the meeting today, many of you concur it is a paradigm shift. So we are all aligned, at least in that regard. So now what are we going to do about it with that paradigm shift? Some of you would have seen this as well. 95% of the pilots are failing, are not producing the results as per a research by MIT. Now, we have our own thesis, which we will share along the way as to why it's not happening. And so far, at least in the market is saying 1 out of 4 will produce results and ROI next year. Again, we have our views as to why it is not producing ROI, and we will share a little bit along the way, but you will see my colleagues here will add a lot more color into that. This is an interesting story. This is from Google, the Adora metrics, where they are saying this might have taken it backwards a little bit, because you might produce the code faster, but are we losing traction in terms of stability, in terms of delivery stability, as well as having smaller modules delivered? This is Google's take. So it's not our take, it's Google's take. So we as tech enthusiasts as well as technologists have a role to play in what we do with it, because end of the day, it's still a tool. But it's a very, very powerful tool. It's about the user who is going to use the tool and get maximum results out of it. We can just allow it to just do coding, or we can use it to understand and deliver much better results. And that's the idea behind this conference for you, because we have seen AI in different aspects along the way, and our teams will walk you through that, all the way from writing, all the way from user experience to design, to development, to support, and agentic. So we have variety to speak about in this conference. Now, what did you guys think about it? You kind of feel a little better. You say 73% of you mentioned only 50% of the pilots have gone into production. Honestly, 95% has not gone into production, so you seem to be better than what the industry says. So, kudos to you and your team. But you are very, very optimistic. 100% of you think there will be ROI next year. That's probably 1 out of 4 in the overall statistics. So looks like you guys are in a much better place. Okay, let me take you through the timeline. So yes, it's a paradigm shift. What can we do about it? How can we be successful? you'll have more clues coming your way, but let's go through a memory lane. We have been through this circuit before. Remember this dot-com boom? Everything was dot-com. Internet comes in, everybody wants to get into dot-com. Anything and everything, your first role is to build a dot-com. Remember pets.com or epets.com. Everyone was building their own website. A lot of it did not take off. For about a 5-6 year period, the valuation of the companies were very high. If you guys follow NASDAQ, estimates say that during this period, NASDAQ grows up to approximately 600%. Because there was a lot of entrepreneurs' money jumping in, venture capitalists building products without knowing what we need to do. Finally, what happened? Only few players, players like Amazon, players like eBay, because they actually used it to build a product that can, one, be easy to the user, and two, produce revenue to the companies. All the others who are just building it for the sake of building or building a Me Too product did not go anywhere. So the learning here is, if your thinking is not dynamic to change or transformative enough to change the processes, and if you're just repeating your existing process in a better way, that's not going to produce ROI for you. That's number one. The second one, I'm sure most of you lived through this as well. When a mobile comes in, Apple comes in on day one, puts 500 apps. So immediately everybody wanted to create an app. I'm sure all of us as tech enthusiasts created our own app as well. It went in. There were hundreds and millions of apps sitting in there. Everybody downloaded it, never used it after that. Again, who benefited out of this? Players like, name few apps that comes to your mind, guys. Maps. WhatsApp, that transformed the business, transformed the way we all communicated. Phone call, it built everything together, messaging. WhatsApp is an ideal scenario. Instagram is another one. YouTube. Things that really brought ease of use to the consumer, made their life a lot more easier and produced revenue. Just for records, Instagram was bought over for $1 billion by Meta, and WhatsApp was bought for $19 billion by the same Meta. So one more before I move on. I'm sure everyone in this room had to do something about cloud, and all of you wanted to build cloud. It was in every board presentation, every meeting you go, there was something about it. The guys who could have benefited out of this would have been IBM, Oracle, because they had a huge data center built. But what they did not do, and let the players like Amazon, players like Microsoft to get in and win the larger share here, they all thought it's just another data center. They just repackaged the data center and they are selling virtual data centers to us. So the idea again is, if you don't reimagine the business process, if you don't reimagine things, and just try to force fit your existing process into AI, in the AI world, the returns will be very less. The challenge is, what do we need to do? And when it's a paradigm shift, we need to have to recognize that it's a paradigm shift. We're running over. Okay, without much ado, so we did say it's a paradigm shift. There's a huge gap that we need to address. So, first principles, you have to reimagine the processes. It's our own imagination that's a problem, so address the imagination gap. Think outside in, not inside out for your users. Second, you need to be prioritized. Now, you see many pilots, 95% fail because there are so many pilots without even thinking existing processes are getting piloted. That's not going to help. We just need to think about really pointed use cases that can produce value. Produce value is the key word, which is the third thing. If you are writing something and if it's not creating business value, not just internal efficiency, but if it's not creating business value, that's not going to be sustainable long term. And finally, as I said, the change is, you need to change the organization and your own teams, how they operate with the AI coming on board. So that's the real differentiator that makes all the things. So these are the 4 things. Our team will walk you through majority of them. Now, I'm going to leave you with this thought. There are 4 characters in the book. One is Sniff, 2 mice, Sniff and Scurry, and then 2 little men, Hem and Hair. So if you guys read this book, it's an interesting read. Sniff figured out that the cheese is going to dry up and ran quickly to the next station. Scurry, was whining about it, but immediately scurried its way to the station where the next cheese was available. Haw was a strategy guy. He till the tank dried, he was doing strategy, and then after that he moved. But Hem is still finding where the cheese is in the old station for 20 years. So I'm going to leave you with that. If you move forward, there's opportunity for you. So we are going to be joined by interesting leaders. I want to put the names here because they are here. These guys are the ones who are helping our clients move the cheese. So there is James. James, where are you? There's James Lennon, Head of Engineering and AI for us. Danny Jennings. Gaurav. So they are our practitioners who are moving, and their team is also here, guys. And then our market leaders, Rob, CRO. There's Rob. Rob. Prashant, Head of UK. Amit, Head of Europe. Neil, he's from Israel, leads our business there. Thomas was here before, and Vitali, our delivery leader in Europe. So they are here. Would love to have a conversation with you guys. There is no right or wrong answer. We are going to give our view, our take on it, things that we see successful leaders delivering. So look forward to a good conversation, guys.